3.
Hello. It's really nice to have a power boost in the middle of the day. And I would love to have this too. Yes? What do you think? Is time for a power boost or not? Well, by lunchtime, you're probably getting a little tired and exhausted. So you want a little boost, don't you? So we have a power boost today, and the power boost is based on what it is I need to do in order to become a child of God. A child of God. So to be a child of God means that I have complete control over my senses, the eyes, the ears, the nose, mouth, and touch. And I have complete control over my subtle organs, the mind, the intellect, and sanskar. So it isn't the eyes that see, The eyes only transmit images, and those images are transported to the brain, where it is interpreted, whatever is transmitted is seen by the brain, and then a response is carried out. There is the same thing with the ears. I don't really hear, but I transmit whatever is being heard to the brain. And in the brain, it is interpreted what is being heard. So all the center for all the senses is in the frontal lobe of the brain. So these organs really don't do anything. They just transmit messages, and it is interpreted in the brain and sent back. A message is sent back via the motor nerve. Is the motor or the sensory nerve? Anyhow, the message is sent back to that particular organ to take action. So, and the subtle organs of the brain, the mind, the intellect, and sanskar, the mind creates thoughts. The intellect judges those thoughts, and the sanskar are those impressions are left in the brain in the form of sanskar or impressions. So these, to have complete control over all of them, means to be a king. To be a king? To be a king. So I need to have complete control. But how do I have control over these senses? Because they seem to be working on their own. They're running the whole show by themselves, as if they are the king and I am the servant. So what I need to do is I need to connect. I need to connect with the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, that point of energy. And by connecting with that point of energy, that Supreme, I am able to draw from him courage and willpower to be able to take control. So this is how I take control over these senses. The mind is always creating thoughts, good, bad, indifferent, any kind. And in the world today, people are constantly creating thoughts. So they create about 60,000 thoughts per day. There are around 60 to maybe 80. But all those thoughts, if you categorize them, they are all useless, waste, negative. So how to change this negative and useless and waste and all of that into positive thoughts, to change them into pure thoughts, to change them into wanted thoughts, necessary thoughts. So what we have to do is stop, observe the thoughts, stop, observe those thoughts, see what kind of thoughts are they. And when I realize that these thoughts don't make me feel so good, or they are not really necessary thoughts, then I change the direction of those thoughts. For example, there may be waste thoughts about what is happening and what is happening there on the street or whatever. It doesn't concern me. So I observe that thought. And when I observe that thought and see that, what is the use of having waste thoughts? What's the use? No use, no use. And what did it do to my energy? It lowered my energy level. Instead of having a pure thoughts like, it's a great day today, and you look at the sun is trying to peep in and everyone around is smiling. It's a great day today. So I will have a good day. So like this, you change the direction of your thoughts. Or for example, you may not be feeling well one day and you wonder, well, why am I feeling like this? Lousy. So what do? I call a good friend. Or I listen to good music, or I read something good, or anything that would lift my spirit. So that's how you change your thoughts. Yes. Now, the intellect is always judging, making decisions. So the intellect, if I have good thoughts, then my intellect would be doing a good job, making right decision. And then after the decision is made, the thought goes into action via my senses. And after the thought, after I have done it a few times, then what happens? It becomes easier and easier to do it again and again until it becomes a habit. If I have repeated one thought a number of times, it becomes a habit, easy. In future, the intellect doesn't have to work. The thought goes right into action, and the action make that impression even firmer. So if, for example, if I am a smoker, the first time I smoke, I feel like vomiting, or I feel so bad. I want to, you feel like dying. Why? Because that smoke has entered the whole bloodstream and is causing problems. So what do I do? So the second time, my friends come again and they tell me, have a smoke. So I said, no. This thing caused me lots of havoc last time. I couldn't manage it. So then what happens? My friend said, don't worry. The second time is much easier. Try it and you would see for yourself. So you tried the second time, and the second time is not as bad as the first time. Why? Because there are some smoke already in the blood. And because the smoke is already there in the blood, when you smoke the second time, it is much easier. So you take the smoke and you really feel that it is easier. It doesn't cause that much problem the second time because of the smoke already there in the bloodstream. So You start smoking and in the bathroom and, hiding and seeking until it becomes a habit. A habit. And when it becomes a habit, what happens? It might be raining, it might be snowing, it might be hailing, whatever. You have to go for that cigarette. Why? It's not you smoking the cigarette now. It's the cigarette smoking you. Yes, you, because you can't do without it. So this is how a habit is formed. Now, how to break that bad habit is not easy. It's easy to develop a bad habit, but it's not easy to break a habit. So what you have to do in order to break that habit, you have to use the intellect. The intellect, you know how bad it is to smoke. I remember when I was in pharmacy school, I had to follow up a patient who was a cancer patient. He was a lung cancer patient, and he was dying, and they were giving him everything, morphine and hydromorphone and everything, and methadone and everything they were giving him, but he had extreme pain. He couldn't tolerate the pain. So it's a real bad type of death to have when you are a smoker and you're dying and they're giving you everything and nothing works. So let's say we want to break that habit. How do we break that habit? What we do is you educate yourself. You educate yourself, and you know that this smoking is going to kill you. And lung cancer is the #1 cancer in the world today. Lung cancer is the #1 cancer. The most amount of patients die with lung cancer. I don't know if it is still like that, but it was like that. So you educate yourself, and when you tell yourself how bad this death is going to be, then you gradually change. You change that habit, and you take something else. You take anything else. Every time you have that urge to smoke, you take a candy. Take a candy and suck on that candy. Yes. Then the urge is so strong, but you try, you suck on the candy every time you have the urge, until gradually you will get out of that habit, that deep-rooted habit. So let's have some meditation so you can get some power to deal with it. Yes. So sit comfortably. Take a deep breath. And as you exhale, just drop everything. Drop everything completely. Take one more deep breath. And as you exhale, you relax. Relax the whole body. And you see yourself as a point of light, located in the center of the forehead, totally separate from this physical body. I, the soul, I am the creator of this body. I am the master. I am in control of the senses. I use these eyes for seeing, these ears for listening, this nose for smelling, this lips for speaking, and these hands for touch. But I am not these senses. I am beyond the master. I am in control of them all. I am in control of my mind and its thoughts, of the intellect and its judgment, and of the sanskar and its memory. I observe every scene as a detached observer. And I move beyond this wall of sound and movement. I go beyond. In the region of golden red light. And I'm face to face with my Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul. He embraces me, gives me all his love, and makes me feel so comfortable. I am in his lap. Nothing to fear, nothing to worry about. I am pure. I am peaceful. I'm powerful. I am incorporeal. I'm viceless. And I'm egoless. I take control of my habits. And I create the habits I would like to have. I am calm. I'm serene. I'm tranquil. I am silent. And in this silence, I see myself clearly. On what I need to be doing. No more subservience, but a master. So gradually, I now return to this world of sound and movement, keeping the awareness of who I truly am. Just a point of light and energy that is the master of this body. And I belong to that supreme being. And I share this information with my friends so that they too can become a master in control and stop being subservient. Om Shanti.